Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Mike Brancatelli here. Welcome to Micadelic. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for checking us out. Whatever you're doing, thank you for being here. This is part 3 in my Jungle Talks series, where I had a great couple of conversations with my friends down in the Amazon jungle in Peru with some amazing people. And this is the third and final installment in those talks with my very good friend, Irene, who also goes by several other nicknames, Irene. She was born and raised in Barcelona, Spain, and now calls Iquitos, Peru, home for a temporary period of time while she is helping facilitate pasajeros on their journey with ayahuasca, with the medicine that we call ayahuasca. And she's a wonderful, multi-talented person. She studied cultural and social anthropology, art therapy. She's volunteered for ICEERS, the ICEERS organization, the International Center for Ethnobotanical Education, Research, and Service. And these psychedelic institutions, man, they have to go with the acronyms. Otherwise, that's a mouthful, right? Same thing goes for MAPS, the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies. I'm sure there's others out there that fit the bill. But, man, these organizations are awesome. They're out there. They're doing it. They're making things happen. And our guest today is no exception. So she's great. She's amazing. She's a good friend of mine. And like I said, multi-talented person. Just a great sense of humor. Kind, warm, generous, compassionate, and amazing at her job, amazing at what she does. Dealing with, I shouldn't say dealing with, but being with and holding space for, individuals that come down to drink ayahuasca, to go through radical transformation of healing and integration that goes on. And she's really fantastic with people and an excellent singer. And we have one of her songs at the end of this podcast, so be sure to stick around to listen to that. It's a wonderful song. I'm so grateful that she recorded it and sent it to me. You're in for a real treat. Again, by the way, the song is a song that's usually sung at the end of our community ceremonies. The community ceremonies that are held at the Temple of the Way of Light is an opportunity for the staff and the local community to get together, to drink together in a ceremonial setting. And some of these songs are sung at the end of these community ceremonies, and they're just absolutely beautiful. Everything that I talk about on this show is like, it's all right there in that room on these community ceremonies. It's just connecting with other people and being involved in a shared venture with other like-minded individuals who are sharing love and compassion and joy and holding space for each other, and just wonderful, wonderful things. I can't say enough about the wonderful love and community that is so apparent there. And Irene embodies all of these qualities. She's, like I said, I just can't speak more highly of her. She's just a tremendous, very talented and skilled person. And and I really enjoyed speaking with her. We talk about dreams. We talk about a lot of different types of archetypes, the unconscious, some Jungian motifs through there, as well as Joseph Campbell we mentioned a little bit. And we talk about the medicine space, the dream space, all these things, what they mean and how they're connected, and how to extract meanings from the sorts of visions that we have in these spaces. And this was all brought on by the classes that I attended when I was there, when Irene was teaching. And we get into that right away from the beginning. So basically, the way this is going to go is we're just going to, just like the other shows, we're hopping into the conversation. I almost feel like Mr. Rogers, come, won't you join us? Come join us in this imagination land that we're building together. So cue the intro music and enjoy.
Psychedelics are illegal not because a loving government is concerned that you may jump out of a third-story window. Psychedelics are illegal because they dissolve opinion structures and culturally laid down models of behavior and information processing. They open to us the possibility that everything we know is wrong.
We don't need new laws that control our consciousness and rigidly place it in a prison.
Cognitive liberty. The fact that as adults, if we're not hurting anybody else, we should have the right to explore the contours of our own consciousness without any mediation or legislation on the part of somebody else.
Reject authority. Authority is a lie.
Voice of perception.
Information is power, but we have to seize the opportunity.
When you say being, I imagine them look like a face. Like if you went to go swap them, they were like,
no, please.
yeah. Or they went, you know. So like, yeah, when I remember, when was it? When I was here in like January or February, you gave some awesome classes, like some really, really great classes. The dream analysis,
the dream appreciation
and the
workshop,
archetype classes. So how did you go to school for this?
I studied art therapy, master,
therapy.
And the approach was Jungian. So yeah, what I know right now is what I learned there.
So like the red book.
The red book, yes, and think that I mean all this world about dream space, archetypes, unconsciousness, collective unconsciousness. I had a fascination always for that because it's like such a mysterious land.
Yeah.
No, and it just called me a lot.
Did you have like vivid dreams or do you still do when you were a kid? Something that like
I
spurred
remember.
this interest?
See, I remember in my early 20s, the dream space was brutal.
It was brutal.
Brutal. Yeah, it was like.
In what way?
Were so many dreams and so intense, you know, and to a degree that I asked for them to stop. You know, I was like, I cannot handle it anymore. You know.
How did you ask for it to
stop?
stop?
I just asked one morning. I wake up and say, "Hey, please stop," and they stopped. They did, and then years later, I was like, "I'm ready."
You're ready for the dreams to come back.
See, and slowly they came back. But yeah, like. I used to write them down, all of them, and I have like notebooks full of dreams, and now I'm more able to understand them, remembering where I was at in my life and what was happening to me. Now it's so clear, you know. When I look back, and I was like, totally, that was out of alignment. I was not paying attention to that. I used to have very like surrealistic dreams. You know, and I was like, I was not understanding nothing at the time. But now it's more easy.
And like now it's easier because like you're looking back at those dreams, those intense ones, or now like currently with dreams you have now?
It's easy because I've been working with it a lot for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And I spent time. I had some years that I spent time writing them down and doing some exercises to try to call the meaning. You know, I think as everyone, no, you tend to go to internet or to books, no, to find meanings. But then I found that my own meaning was more important, you know. And sometimes when you find your own symbology and your own meaning, then you check, and then you see, it's pretty similar to the universal meaning. For example, I have a dictionary of symbols. It's not dream related directly. It's a dictionary of symbols, and for each symbol they explain you what it means in Africa and different cultures, Asia, Islam, Christianism, and in some of them they have in the Jungian psychoanalysis, something like that, and they have also. But sometimes I found that I resonate with meanings from different things in an African tradition. It's like, with the dream I had, I resonate with that right now, you know. So it's interesting, because sometimes when you go to find, if you Google it, no, or you go to certain books, it's like, there's something that is missing there, you know, because each symbol, each image can have different meaning. I mean, if when I was a kid, I was in the zoo and I got very scared with a lion, if I dream about a lion and then I go and I check and the lion is about royalty and loyalty and but for me, no, I'm scared of the lion, you know. I had this experience, so my meaning is what comes first, and then I may arrive to touch on the loyalty and the whatever.
How did you figure that out, that your meaning comes first? Because I feel like a lot of people look to material to tell them the meaning, to give them the meaning.
I think that we are like meaning seekers, no? And is this eternal looking for outside of us, no? And not only in dream space, in many things, when the answers are always inside. But it's more easy to go and find something outside, because I think that to find the answer within, it requires work, it requires time, quietness, you know, connecting, letting your unconscious speak to you. And that is not something that we learn.
And be open and willing to listen to it.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. But no one teaches how to do that, no? And, you know, reading some books about dreams, I found that a lot of people, almost in the I don't remember the name of the guy now, but it's from Greece, in a very old book, there he was saying already, it's very important your personal meaning, you know, what this sign or this symbol means to you is the first thing, then is the other.
Yeah.
But also it's true that people that has been researching on that, like Jung, for example, he realized that certain symbols have this universal meaning, no, like the car, like teeth falling, I don't know, this kind of
the water.
The water
as the unconscious.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, true, for sure. There's things that we all have, and there's a meaning for that, no? But for me, it has been very beautiful to do this work about doing my own dictionary, you know, of meaning.
What do you see as the connection between the medicine space in terms of plant medicine, specifically ayahuasca or an ayahuasca center, and the dream space?
I think it's the same space.
Really?
I think it's the same space, because outside of medicine work, the dream space is a space where we can integrate things that happen to us in life. When we get healing also. Sometimes we are not aware of that, no? But we can integrate experience, we can get healing. So if you work with medicine, and I see it a lot here, the dream space gets much more amplified when you work with medicine, because it's the same space. You know, medicine keeps working there, your unconsciousness keeps working there, no? And sometimes things that start in ceremony, they finished in the dream space when people are sleeping, you know? And I found it so interesting and so beautiful, because it's the same. I think that when we work with plants, when we have a truthful spiritual practice, then is when we can tap more and more into the spiritual world also. And for me, I'm wondering if it's the same. Is the dream space the spiritual world? Is our unconsciousness or the collective as consciousness part of the spiritual world? What is part of that? Are all the same?
Right.
You know, it's kind of it's so mysterious.
Very mysterious.
It's very mysterious.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting. But yeah, totally. Like working with plant medicine opens up your dream space big time. Big time.
Well, you saying that to me right now makes me feel like it elevates the dream space for me. I regard it a little bit higher now than just something that, well, I go to sleep and, you know, I had a dream that like a cheeseburger was eating me instead of the other way around. You know, like, well,
and you wake up
mean,
and it's like, it's just a dream.
Yeah, just a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a strange like dream the other night, you know, about like getting ice cream from this place, and the woman who owned the ice cream store was actually like a reptilian lizard, because I think we were talking about something, conspiracies about reptilians that rule the world at dinner the other night and stuff. So it made its way into my dream space. So, well, first I want to ask you, like, so should we, to continue down this topic, I want to make sure, like, is this the thing that you feel like most excited about right now? Like this sort of topic? I mean, you know, exploring this space?
I mean, I feel very excited about that.
Yeah.
Because in my personal experience through doing diets with different plants.
Plant diets, yeah.
Plant diets, the dream space is like having seven from 3 to 7 dreams every night and remembering them all. And writing them down is like, oh my God. And finding the meaning there and being able of analyzing them and yeah, like it's so vast.
Yeah.
It's so vast. There.
So that's what would you say that's like what you're interested in the most then, is exploring that space?
Yeah, because
whether it's
I
medicine
think,
space or dream space, and you see it to be the same. So.
And I think that it's
you can say sí.
Sí.
Yo, tú habla español, no habla español bueno. No problema.
No problema.
Yeah.
Es que for me, it's part of the healing journey, of the hero journey, you know, of knowing yourself, of evolution, revolution, whatever. It's like knowing what is inside, you know, and it's a big part of our unconsciousness. And it has been neglected for so long. And I think all the people that come to these kind of places, not to heal, is because there's no attention, there's no consciousness to the unconsciousness. And then is when it gets, you know, troubled. But yeah, I think it's part of our life, and it's a beautiful land to explore.
Yeah.
It can be scary sometimes. There are some places like dark places and these things, but it's all part of ourselves.
So what about somebody that's not, you know, you're not drinking plant medicine,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're just having dreams. That's just the unconscious. I mean, I think you just mentioned the hero's journey, and that's like a big thing for me, because I love Joseph Campbell and his you know, his use of that. He talks about that dreams are manifestations of energies in conflict within the body.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
I
think
think
about
that for me the dream space is a place where our psyche evolves and develops, and through dreams we can see where are we at. You know, in different stages of our life, we will dream about certain things that will mark a change, that will announce, okay, now we are growing, or now we are changing, no? Or now we are stuck, and we cannot get out of here.
Right.
You know? There's dreams that just help us cleaning out trash from the daily basis, from movies, from conversations, from books, from advertisements, from the noise around us.
It's pretty much like everything that you're gathering around you.
Exactly.
And you can't possibly
and you
make
can,
sense of it all.
Exactly, and all this information you are not aware, and you cannot be aware, because if not, we will explode, I think. So these kind of dreams are like, if you are working with your computer and you send things to the trash, and then you clean the trash, you know? It's like, zoop. But this kind of
Sometimes before you clean the trash, you do an extra look and see, is there anything here I want to save? Does anything have meaning to me in here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this kind of dreams, no? And as I said, there's other kind of dreams where we integrate things that happen to us, where we heal, there's dreams where we meet people that has passed away. For example, that we connect, that we can see them, can talk to them. But then we have dreams, for example, when working with medicines, sometimes there's dreams like there is plant dreams, you know, and they are very clear. But again, if you are not working with any kind of plant, I mean, in my early 20s, I was not working with any plant medicine, and my dream space was big time, you know. Mm-hmm. I would say more than now. You know, now it's different, but I remember this stage of my life was kind of, as I said, brutal, you know, like all these dreams.
Yeah, you brought that up before. Like, I kind of feel the same way, because I have very vivid dreams and realistic dreams a lot. And sometimes it's it's just so tedious to go through the work of dissecting all of it. The other night I had like a menagerie of dreams, like 12 short stories, like that kind of went in a row. There were all these little kind of shorts that had a similar theme. I was in a situation, someone was getting angry or upset or freaking out, and I was kind of just like, nah, don't worry about it, it's fine. Like, I don't know, and I remember them vividly in detail. I mean, I could project the movie of my mind. If I could project the movie of my mind onto the wall, I would know every article of clothing, every person, where they go, and things like this. But like, yeah, I mean, is there stuff to be learned in every one of these? In some way, it's like I do want to explore this space more. I'm really interested, but it sounds like it's like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, there's dreams, as I said, these trash dreams. Like they're just helping you, like making more space. There's dreams where we just release emotion, or there's dreams that show us, like in this dream you had, like, hostia, everyone was pissed off and I was very tranquil, but say something about you.
Yeah, I'm awesome.
Facing this, exactly. I mean, sometimes not all the dreams will have the big meaning,
Right.
Some dreams are very simple and just telling you just that thing,
Like you forgot to brush your teeth the other night. Could it be something like? I mean, it could, right? If you get the meaning out of it, then you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sí. Because sometimes, like for example, and I learned that in the diets, no. For example, at night I have these 7 dreams. And I'm trying, to find the meaning in each dream. And then the maestro came and I'm explaining the dream. And I realize he's listening. And the aspects that I was kind of looking at that, like, this is important, were not. Was this little detail in the dream that I've even considered, that was the thing. So I start like, okay, so when it's like, for example, we were having a conversation now in the dining room.
Yeah.
And this person was saying that, that these recurrent dreams about bathrooms, going underwater and arriving to this beautiful bathroom,
right. Yeah.
Royal bathroom or tarara. And he was like, I don't know what's that, and maybe we are looking for meanings, and it's like, we complicate ourselves. It's like, okay, if in the bathroom I'm cleaning my body, maybe the bathroom in the dream space can mean a space of cleansing of the soul, or cleansing of the spirit, no?
So
a place of purification.
Symbolic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See.
A symbolic maybe of like something that, hey, this is a place you can cleanse here.
Exactly.
You're being cleansed.
Exactly.
Could it mean that like this is something that is happening to
exactly.
you?
And you are arriving to this royal bathroom with everything is gold and that. It's a good place then, It's a good place to purify your spirit, your soul. But sometimes we are. See, I don't know. I think that we get blocked in our mind because we think, and where's the meaning and what, and then I'm gonna search it, and then just sit a little bit, just sit with that dream and evoke the dream, and then ask, okay, what's the meaning, But it's what you say, it's tedious. It's like, well, it's tedious depending. For me, it has been always like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. But you need time. You need to give time to yourself. You need at least an hour.
Yeah.
In a tranquil place that no one is gonna bother you. No music, no nothing, just you, your notebook, and your dreams. And you write them then. And it's good when you write them down. It's good to do it in present.
In the present tense.
In present tense, yeah. Yeah, because in that way you are evoking the dream as it happened. So then new things can come, things that you don't remember.
From the dream.
From the dream, it's like, because you are evoking the dream.
What does that mean, you're evoking the... I think I know what you mean, but explain that. You're evoking the dream.
Evoking is like
tense.
calling it back.
You're calling it back.
Exactly.
You're reliving it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Through writing.
And you're writing it down, so you wake up in the morning.
And sometimes, you can sit and you can just go through the dream again in your mind if you are not about writing. I think writing is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because you can elaborate things that sometimes in the mind, the image is complicated. And then when you write, it's like, that was happened there.
Well, that's really interesting that you said that actually you favor the writing, because this all started with your art therapy, right? Art therapy, where you were learning this Jungian approach and all this stuff. But it's actually the writing that you feel that helps more in the dream space. Where does the art...
See, could be writing. I mean, writing is an art also. Art is many things.
That's true. Okay. You got me there. That's true.
No, but there's also exercise where you can draw. I used to draw my dreams.
Right.
Also. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful to draw the dream. And if you are going to a moment where your dreams are very vivid, then every day you do a drawing, every day. And then after a week, you look at them, and for sure you will find things that you may not find if you write. Things that maybe are colors. This color is repeating in the same shape, for example, or things that visually is like, that maybe in the writing part are not appearing there. But it's the same like in the ceremonies, You can write the ceremony or you can draw the ceremony. And if you do it continuously, then you see patterns. And with the dream space, the beautiful thing about working in that way, about writing them, about keeping track, is that you start seeing patterns on your dream space. You start seeing, for example, different kind of places or cities, that I've been there before.
Yes.
And then you're in the dream like,
that's happened to me. Yeah.
I've been here before.
Yeah.
And then if you have record, you go there like, I was here. And then you realize when the city starts changing. It's like, I'm not... I remember for a long time for many years, I was dreaming about this house. It was so scary. And so for many years. And since working with medicine and in these last years, this house came again, but I was not afraid of the house. And the house, I was open windows, more light was coming. So it's a place in my unconsciousness that has been changing, and my relationship with it has been changing also, but it's this place.
So the house represents something inside of you?
The house can represent yourself, and the different
like
floors.
Levels?
Levels of the house, like basement represent your ancestry, your past. The middle part is your present. If you have more floors, or the attic is the future. But for me, this house is a part of myself that was very present, or I was very into that for a long time. And my relationship has been changing with that part of myself, I mean...
So you're seeing it in a different light.
Exactly.
Like literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sí. And it's again, like... Because the house can be a universal sign, a universal symbol. But again, my own meaning is what I take first. And I consider, the universal meaning of the house in my culture is that.
Right.
But for me right now, how I really feel it is that house represents an aspect of myself, And that was very interesting. I know.
That is interesting, because you just said in my culture. Because obviously you're dreaming of a house that means something to you, but maybe like an Aboriginal society in somewhere in Africa, or say even, the Shipibo, like maybe a house wouldn't be something that came to them first as being this symbolic key to understanding something inside of them. It could be something different. So it manifests with what you understand. Right?
I think that also what influences here is like, in the collective unconsciousness, the archetypes that live there, that can be a house, can be a king, can be a fool, as they are universal, they are the same for everyone, but they change through the filter of culture, tradition, and the personal filter, And you can see it in movies, you can see it in different mythology of around the world. The figures are the same, but they are different. It's not the same a warrior in Greece that a warrior in New Zealand.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same. Death don't have the same color all over the world.
Right.
For example, no. So death is the same for everyone, but it has different colors,
Yeah, different flavors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in the dream space, it's the same for sure. The personal meaning goes first, but obviously the cultural meaning is there, and sometimes it's very heavy, because we live in our culture and we are influenced by that.
Yeah, that's like the collective unconscious, right? I mean, and you just brought up these archetypes. Can you talk a little bit about, because you gave a class about that too. Everyone seemed to really love it, and you go into sort of a little bit about the archetypes. I mean, I guess when I say go into it, I mean like I guess give like a general overview for that, maybe people that aren't familiar with.
The archetypes is a thing that also has been fascinating me for a long time since I discovered art therapy and the Jungian approach. And archetypes are psychic energies that they are from and unfold inside of the collective unconsciousness. And the beautiful thing is that they have certain kind of autonomy from our consciousness. And this can be a little bit unsettling, no? It's like, what are you meaning that they have certain autonomy from my consciousness? It's true. They are, because they are very powerful, because they come from humanity and have been there for as long as human beings.
They come from the collective humanity.
The collective humanity. So they are very old, really.
Yeah.
So these psychic energies, these characters, these psychic images, that again we can find them in movies, in legend, in mythology. They also change form, as I was saying, no, depending on the culture, depending on the personal filter. And the thing with that is that when we are aware of them, when we integrate them in our life, everything's okay. But when we don't, they rule our life. It's like the most obvious is the shadow, for example. No, it's like the big archetype, the shadow. That inside of the shadow, it's plenty of them, but when the shadow is not integrated, is not bringing into consciousness, rules your life, and it's a mess.
Because it's ruling it
without
from the unconscious.
Exactly, and because you don't see the difference between your shadow and yourself.
So you're identifying as the archetype.
No, you don't know that there is an archetype.
You don't know it's an archetype.
Exactly, you don't know there, and this is playing through you.
It's playing through you.
Exactly. So the moment you start working with this kind of energies and knowing who they are and where they come from, then you create this distance between you and them. It's like, okay, you are a part of me. You are not me. No, I'm not my anger. I'm not this voice in my head that is judging me all the time. This is a voice in my head. It's not me. I'm the one who listens.
Right.
Who
chooses to listen.
Exactly.
Not, yeah.
So it's like, if it's not me, who it is?
Who it is.
Who it is.
Who is
it's
it?
The judge. The judge is another big archetype,
That's
no?
Yeah.
That everyone can relate to the judge.
I remember learning about that, I think, with like some class I took in college, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that was a part of it.
Exactly.
The judge, the inner critic.
Yeah. Exactly. So for Jung, for example, how he worked or he discovered during his career and with the help of his wife Emma Jung, that there's plenty of archetypes, plenty, but he boiled it down to some basics, no? That is, like if you see ourselves as an onion, no, the psychic onion. Like the first layer is the mask, no, and the mask is related to the ego, is what help us adapt also. But some people fall into the mask and they think that they are just this mask, This is the first. Behind the mask, we have the shadow and all these things that we don't like from ourselves. Behind that and these two are in relationship and are very interesting, animus and anima. So that are the masculine and feminine principles. So men, you have anima. Women, we have animus. They are totally related to the relationship that we had towards our parents or caretakers. No, for women, what relationship I had with my dad. For men, what relationship I had with my mom. Behind that, there is the beautiful inner child that has the spark of life. It's one of the more powerful forces, really, but normally it's wounded, and it's all this work to heal this child and to get back this beautiful energy. Behind that is the inner wise, the beautiful one also. And it's beautiful that they are close, there's the inner child and the inner wise, the ends of the circle all together. And behind, in the center of the onion, Jung discovered that there is the self, the inner self. And what Jung was saying is that this archetype is not even human related. It's divine related. It's the part of us that is connected to the divine. So I found very interesting the journey towards these archetypes. And inside of the archetypes you find all the others, all the different forms. But when you get into this journey, it's so beautiful. Because it's a journey of self-discovery. And it's just... Sometimes you feel like you're a little bit crazy because you are talking with all these people inside your head. You are putting names. You are that. You are that.
You were reading my mind. I was literally about to say, it's like, as you're saying this, I'm thinking about this, and I'm nodding my head because I've read a little, Jung, and I know a little bit about this stuff, and I'm like, well, yeah, this is true, and this makes sense. But we're talking about these things as if they're like these tangible, material things, or these something with a sentience to them that they're walking around, but they're layers of the human psyche.
Exactly.
That is, I mean, just it seems so powerful, so infinite, so deep. Totally.
And the more you try to connect with that, the more you work through that, the more they show up in dream space, for example, or in ceremony, and then you start recognizing them in your dreams, like, here it is. Here it is, And I think the more you work with it, with them, with these images, with these forces inside of you, I think, and for me, it has been very important to name them, because when you name
it's
them,
very important to name them. Yeah.
For me, has been because in the moment I name them, I make this distinction. You are not Irene, you are this other name. And so they lose power on me, totally, because I bring awareness, I bring consciousness, like, here it is. Look, again. Hi, you want to judge again? And and it's a practice, but the more you do it, the more you see the results. But you need to do it, And on doing that, what I discovered also, is much more effective to know who they are and to have them around, because sometimes with these difficult things that we don't like from ourselves, we tend to want to banish them far away, And I discovered that if I banish them, I don't know what they are doing, I don't know what they are planning. But if I make them sit here next to me and I say, yeah, just stay here. I love you, by the way.
Yeah.
Then it gets better.
It's like, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Exactly. And it's not because they are your enemies, because I think that just the problem is that they are not integrated in your life. They are, the light of the consciousness didn't show them, and I think this is they are just difficult because we don't pay attention, because we don't integrate.
Right. Well, it's like it's. I'm just getting this image of like everybody's kind of the CEO of their own, psychic company, and you have this like boardroom full of archetypes and
all that messing around.
Like inner selves and the child, and they're all in there, and it's like, guys, come on, we got to get this thing under control.
Put some order here.
Yeah, get some order here so we can then.
Because I'm the boss.
You're the boss. You're the arbiter.
Exactly.
You're the.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the boss. You are not the boss,
Right.
But in the moment you integrate them, they help. So like the shadow, when you integrate your shadow, is your ally. And it's beautiful. It's the beauty of the shadow.
Yeah.
But you need to make them make sure that they know that you are the one ruling.
You're the one in control.
And this is not easy. And it's not always, you are not always in the state of, I control everything.
Well, yeah, because people talk about, the shadow as being this like really dark, negative aspect, right? I mean, And in many ways, it is like this part that we don't want to look at because it's sort of scary or something. But it can serve us.
Totally. In the moment we look at it and we accept it. No, shadow is all the things that we don't like from ourselves. That we don't, no, I'm not that. Oh, no, yeah, we are, because we are humans. And we have a vast range of emotions, of aspects. And it's all inside, And today I shared a little piece of a book that is a conversation between a dad and a daughter, no? And the daughter is asking, Dad, what do you do when you are afraid? How do you deal with that? And Dad is like, no, when fear comes, I just invite him at home, I invite him, I make him sit, I give him a tea, some chat, and then I give him some space, And the daughter's like, but why you do that? It's like, look, if I face fear, shouting, screaming, like I just leave fear to its own. And how was he's like, fear is just the love without shelter. The love that never meet a friend, a father, a mother, a sister, the love that never had a kiss of goodnight, that never had a conversation at dawn as we are having now, So next time you feel afraid, just sit with it, and
kind of like literally what you just did.
Exactly.
By sitting down in front of the microphone.
Exactly. Oh my God. No, but how many times we reject all these things, things that, no, I'm not that. I'm not that. I don't want that. Because they just need attention. Again, there was this beautiful quote. For sure, I'm not going to say it how it is. I think it's from Rilke, that says maybe the most horrible parts of yourself, the only thing they need is attention. Just attention. It's like this big demon, this big thing, this darkness, shadow. It's so frightening. Maybe look at it a little bit. You know?
Maybe bring him up from the basement and
exactly
take him outside.
Give it some sun.
It's a little sun. Yeah.
Have a chat with it.
Yeah.
Ask, what do you need? What do you want?
I think this is really helpful, even for me right now, to understand, to sort of personify this energy of fear, to give it a face, sort of give it a personality. Imagine a scenario where you do invite it in for a cup of tea, to sit down with it,
exactly,
to chat with it, rather than saying, I'm afraid, right? Do you think I'm on the right path
I think that I think there's many ways to work with these kind of things, these kind of energies. And I think that each one needs to find the one who resonates the most, no? But I think that as everything, it takes time and it takes effort. Because it's very easy to say it. It's very easy to say, hey, face your fear in that way or that way, sit with that, acknowledge it, give it attention. But then you need to do it.
Yeah, anyone can say that.
Exactly. Claro.
Well, I'll tell you an interesting thing. When I was a kid, I was... Do you know Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
When I was like 7 years old, I was at this birthday party and they like showed this movie and I was terrified. And so I was having recurring nightmares about Freddy Krueger. He's coming to get me and I'm at the top of the stairs and I'm trying to scream to my parents, but they can't hear me and I can't move and he's coming, And then I remember someone told me they were trying to kind of calm me down by this thing because I kept having nightmares and stuff. Like, look, he's just an actor in a movie. It's a mask. He's playing a role. It's just fun and games. It's pretend. So I had a dream where he came to my second grade classroom, Freddy Krueger. It's like back at the nightmare, right? Here he comes. And I, in the dream, as myself at 7, 8 years old, said, you're not real. You're just wearing a mask. This is fun and games.
Beautiful.
This is pretend. And then he was like, you got me, He took the mask off and threw it in the garbage in the dream. And then
Beautiful.
it became resolved.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
And this dream shows that in your unconsciousness, you win the battle, you face the fear. It's like, you are not real. There's this beautiful acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real.
False evidence appearing real.
See,
yeah.
I think there's from a book called When Everything Falls Apart,
Oh, yeah.
that I think is from Pema Chodron. There's a moment when she's explaining a dream that a friend of her was having or her, where this monster was chasing her, no? And all the dreams, and they were so afraid of this monster. And until the day that in the dream, the girl decide to stop running and just turn and face. And he discovered that the big monster was just a paper shape. And it was like, oh, this is not that scary. So I think it's this kind of dreams that we have when we are kids. These are archetypal dreams, you know, where your psyche is evolving and is facing these fears and is you know. And it's beautiful because we do that when we are kids, and then we grow up and it's like, oh my God, I'm so fearful, and it's like,
what happens?
What happened?
What happens? I'm asking you. Tell me what happens.
I think that society has a lot to do, and the education that we receive, and how society is bringing up kids, you know, and how is a base fear society. You know?
Is that to say that society is operating out of a paradigm of fear?
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí, and that doesn't help at all.
No,
that doesn't help.
No. I think it benefits some people.
Exactly.
But I don't think it benefits the individual. You know.
It's not. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, man, yeah, I find this stuff really fascinating because I sort of know so little about it. I think I'm actually a little intimidated to face my to dive into the dream work and stuff.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like there's so much there, you know, and it's
infinite.
It just seems like when I'm going into an ayahuasca ceremony, okay, I can deal with that for some reason. But it's almost like the dream space is more dense for me.
I mean, it's part of our life. It's like I was wondering, like, when society put it down, you know, it's like it's a pity because no one teaches how to relate to this part of our life that is so important, no? And in so many ancient cultures and cultures that are already alive, it is so important, dreams, you know, so important to make decisions, to ask for things because they know meanings, you know, because they are familiar with that. So it's not that scary, the dream space. But here we are that no one teaches what is that about, what it's just a dream. Don't worry, it's just a dream, you know. Like your parents, no, don't worry, it's just a dream, it's normal. A parent is going to say that.
Yeah.
But how beautiful would be that our parents could say, oh, you had that dream. Okay, look, that, you know, and teach us how to operate.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Because again, the more you get in touch with your dreams, the more you are more aware in your dreams, and the more you can do things in your dreams, you know, as you did.
Yeah, yeah.
But because you were a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and kids are more open and more connected to that.
Now I have to learn how to do that again with lucid dreaming.
But I don't think you have to learn. You just need to remember.
Remember.
Yeah.
All learning is remembering. Right?
Yeah.
I forgot who said that. Plato? I don't know. One of those guys. One of those wise guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what you were saying is, you know, it's interesting. I mean, we're talking about dreams and stuff, and you know, there's people often use this as like, there's two ways that I'm thinking of. One is that, oh, he's a dreamer, you know, like just forget about it. It's just illusionary, that sort of thing. And then the other one is the sort of the Martin Luther King Jr. type of I have a dream, this vision, right? Exactly. Where you kind of mentioned that these dreams, because we were familiar with the dream space, the space of when we lie asleep at night and go into that realm, that it actually could be, something can be extracted out of that to inform the society of its values and
exactly. And is how it used to be in all traditions, in like tribes, for example. It was like people when they had the strong dreams, they were explaining the dreams to the elders of the village. I had this dream, and the elders were analyzing the dream and saying, you need to do that, you need to do that. So dreams were a big part of life, in Egypt, in Greece, in a lot of places, I mean, and the sad thing is that we lost that, we lost that, and then dreams were guiding people, were the guide to do in daily life.
Wow.
So now who's guiding us? If we are not in touch with that,
who's in charge of the?
Claro, who's in charge?
Who's driving the car?
Who's driving the car? Exactly.
Well, yeah, and then this just brings it all back to like the dream space, the medicine space, maybe even the death space, right? It's like what is going on here? Like these energies, are they spirits, the ancestors? Somebody seems to be communicating a message to us in these spaces, and maybe there's people out there. Yeah, right. I mean, I think the average person probably goes to sleep at night. Who knows if they're even recounting what their dreams are, because maybe they're taking pills or they're drinking and they're just forgetting things. And then they just they could have a very deep, profound, impactful dream, but then they just have to go to their job, and we're trained. This doesn't mean anything. It's just a silly. Don't worry about it. You're just gonna lay unconscious in your bed for 8 hours while your body doesn't move, and you lay there.
And it's not important. You are just sleeping. You know, it's just a dream. It's like, it's so much than that. And there is also people know that I don't dream. I never dream. And it's like, no, you dream, but you don't remember. And when that happens, seems that is the unconsciousness is blocking your dreams to protect you. Because at some stage you were not ready to receive these messages, so the unconsciousness block that. So the work here for people that really is not remembering any dream is to send the message back. Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm not afraid. I'm ready to see. I'm ready to listen. So open that up.
How do you do that? How do you send a message back?
I think that is having these moments. Maybe through meditation. Maybe before going to bed, just meditating on that, and just connecting with silence, finding silence inside. It's easy to say.
Finding silence, creating space.
Creating space, creating silence inside, and from this space of stillness, sending the message. Hey, I'm ready. You don't need to protect anything. I'm grown up. I'm ready. I won. I'm open. But everyone dreams. Everyone.
I'm ready now to hear what your dream is. What your dream is for life. Like what this part of the podcast, a lot of times I like to sort of, maybe I'm jumping the shark here with it being a little premature, but I really like to find out like what do you see? What's your vision of life and the reality and the world and how you see things and what you hope for. What's your dream, to this? I know it's an extremely massive question, but I think it's fun.
Totally.
In a way, I want to partake in this in this dream that we're sort of co-creating right now by imagining what could be, what should be, what you want people to know, or something like that. What you look forward to.
Yeah, so going big, no? Let's go big.
Yeah, go big. Yeah, moonshot.
Let's go big. Yeah, boom. I would love to see people really developing a deep and true connection to nature, because I think that, again, the dream space in relation to the spirit world, in relation to nature, to the planet, to the cosmic energies. So I think it would be very beautiful to see more and more people that know how to establish this connection, no? And more people opening themselves to this part of themselves, this unconsciousness, this dream space, connecting to all this world, connecting to what is divine, what is sacred, I think that would have a massive impact in how we relate to each other, how we relate to ourselves first, how we relate to each other, how we bring up kids, how we relate to nature. Because people, you can have love for nature, you can go out, you can live in nature, but there's this spiritual connection that you can do also through dream space to the spirits of nature. That is a massive change. And I've been feeling that in this last 2.5 years, where I understand this is connection to nature, and having through plant medicine, through plant diets, through dream space, mostly. And then you start seeing like very subtle effects in the reality, in the daily reality, like more animals approaching you, more these little things that here in the jungle is quite easy, kind of, but were not happening to me 3 years ago, and are happening now, So it's like, So I think this approach between human and nature through this spiritual world, dream space, that would make things much more harmonized and much more aligned, and at least in my own experience, it gives more tranquility. There's something inside that through that connection is much more peaceful. And at the same time, through that, there's something about the connection with what is divine that for me has a lot to do with faith in myself, in the higher consciousness, in nature, in the plants, in humans, that is growing and growing and growing. So, for me, these are very, very basic but very important things that maybe are not in the first line always. But I think that if more and more people are connecting to these things, then the effect, the ripple of this connection will show up in many different ways around, in life.
So more and more people are connecting to these things, right? I think that one of the things that people tend to do is seek out people like them so they can maybe form some community, develop some sort of practice, maybe daily practice. Something that we do here that is, it's incredible, is amazing, is this ceremony that is sacred, this ritual that we, partake in, and that just interviewing people today about their experience here and things like that. It's people really talk about this connection to community, like meeting people from all around the world and finding out, hey, I'm not alone. There's other people that are just like me who are going through something, that want something. So if we're able to do that and we're able to connect a little bit deeper to these spaces by having medicine experiences and connecting with the dream space and opening up this world, then we can do something with that, right? Like we can actually make the dream world come into existence. Is that? So then we can kind of make it whatever we want.
Exactly. No, but it's like bringing this awareness into this unconscious world.
Yeah.
To make it more conscious. Because the word unconscious is because it's lacking consciousness there. Unconscious in the grammatics is without conscious.
So we say we're us human beings like to pride ourselves on the fact that we're conscious beings. Although it seems like to me now that it's like we're the most unconscious assholes walking around. I look at it at the jungle in the background and everything, and the trees, and the way that nature behaves seems to be more conscious.
Exactly, totally.
So we have something to learn there. Yeah, let's maybe we should end on that. Like, you've been learning a lot through plant medicine work, right? Yeah. And aren't you like kind of finishing up your tour here?
My
sort
training.
of at the end of the year?
Yes, I think though that the learning is a lifetime learning, and I think that the more you practice, the more you learn. It's through practice that you learn, and it's through trying and making mistakes, and yeah. But yeah, we can say that I'm finishing like the degree. Now I need to do the practice part.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe we talked about it, maybe we covered it, maybe you said it already, but what do you think is like the biggest thing that you've learned, or just something maybe that you want to share with people about, you know, your journey of working with plant medicine until now? What is it?
Ostras is an expression to say, oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. I think that has been a really deepening the relationship with myself at the beginning, you know, like until points that I would never expect to know myself. It's not that like I'm done, I know myself. No, but yeah, like touching very deep places that I didn't know about. And from being down there, what came after was this beautiful connection to nature in a level that I was not expecting, in a spiritual level, you know, because I understood connection to nature was like, yes, I love the trees, I love the animals, but it's much more deep than that. It's when nature comes in. It's not that comes into you, but that you become aware that nature is inside of you.
I think you said the other day, like, I think it was you that was like, well, you are what you eat.
Exactly.
So if you're eating plants, if you're drinking plant medicine,
exactly, you become a plant.
You sort of become,
exactly.
Like the human ambassador
exactly.
for the plant who
exactly, yeah.
They can't speak our language, but they have something to communicate.
Totally,
right?
and they are here to serve us, to help us. So when you start meeting nature in your dream space, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful, and you feel so much at home, you know, so much at home. And that, what has brought for me was a strengthening in my faith, you know, and that is my flag right now. It's like, yeah, I have faith.
Faith in?
Almost everything.
Almost
no,
everything.
but I think the first faith in myself, you know, faith in myself, and then faith in whatever is bigger than us.
I really love that. I love, because I'm a big believer in this. You are your own authority on things, right? I mean, you, at the end of the day, you're in there.
Exactly.
And I'm in here. So you know better about what's going on for you.
Exactly.
Right? So how do people, like, how did you, I think I asked this in the beginning of the show, but like, how do you come to that realization? Because I see a lot of people still trying to seek approval and seek validation and these sorts of things. Like, I don't know, you just hand them a large cup of ayahuasca. Is that the best way to crack through?
It's been 3 or 4 years for me of deep work and going through my shit with no escape, you know, and I mean, and it's not that again, it's not that I'm done, you know. I see myself falling back into patterns, and then I need to watch, you know. It's like, look, that is showing up again, and in the moment that shows up, you need to do an action. You need to take action to change that, to don't let that go again into circle and grow again, because I don't want that, because I believe in myself. But the pattern is there, but you need to watch it. So I don't know what kind of advice, because it's like, yeah, you need to do your work. It's homework.
Yeah.
Homework is the advice.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Do your homework.
Is that simple?
Yeah.
You know, because what I saw sometimes is that people want the quiet fix.
Right.
You know, it's like this other quote of the conversation with a guru and a guy that goes there. I want to heal. Are you sure that you want to heal? Yeah, obviously I'm sure. Who's going to come here if they don't want to heal? It's like most people want a quick release because it's easy and it's quick. But they don't want to go down the road and really dig deep.
Yeah.
Like if you are carrying, I don't know, anxiety for 30 years, don't expect to be out in 23 days. It's going to be better you may have tools to go back and work with that. For me, has been always like trying to carve a tunnel in a mountain with a spoon.
Yeah.
From time to time, you find this amazing tool. It's like, yeah, and you do a nice, and boom, the tool disappears. Ploop, the spoon again. Okay, spoon. That is homework. It's like, yeah.
But it's like the movie The Shawshank Redemption. The guy's in prison, and he carves out of. He has like a little tiny chisel. Carves the hole in the wall. Eventually, after a year or 2 years or whatever, how long it took him, he crawled through the river of shit, the sewer pipes, and escaped the prison.
Exactly.
So
is that
that's what you gotta
and
do.
sometimes, as I said, or for some people can be quick, or you have a moment in your life where everything goes fast, goes connected, everything, and then comes back some other moment, where you need to, again, the spoon, but I think that without the homework, that you can drink as much as you want, and you can have many experience and many gifts and many teachings, but if you don't do anything with that, don't expect anything to change. Like, if you don't take action, reality is not going to change. You can understand, but if there is not action there, and action can be big things from very simple things.
So you can be consuming all kinds of different psychedelics and going to raves and dancing and having dreams and sitting in ayahuasca ceremonies and going to Burning Man, and if you're not
and meditating
and meditating and doing yoga and doing all that, but if you're not taking anything from that and applying it to issues that are happening for you in reality, then it's sort of
and you can go to relationships. It's so easy. And if you go to family, it's so easy. The triggers. The triggers. It's like every time I see my mom, that is where the juice is.
That's where the juice is.
Exactly. Or I keep needing approval from people, no? I keep needing approval from people. Well, there's something you are not doing there. It's some homework you are just dismissing there, if that keeps showing up.
Yeah.
If something is showing up, it's showing you, hey, here is where you need to work. Here, and we dismiss that. It's like, no. I'm gonna do this other thing. I need to drink more. I need to know. It's like, no, the reality is telling you, or dream space is telling you. Just go there. Do the homework.
And we're never gonna get to a point where we solved everything. We have no more homework to do, or do you think that is like a space that we can maybe get temporarily, because things come up, right? You have your house and people come in uninvited. You have to be aware, create space.
For me, how I've been perceived in my life has been like stages, no? It's like there is some moments that you need to climb. It's very hard, and then you arrive to some stage. It's like, okay, we're here now. We're good. And you learn something, and you're okay. Yeah, I change things. I evolve. And then things happen in life, because things are going to happen always. And then again, you need to climb up again, no? It's like these rocks, and it's difficult. And then you arrive to another part. It's like, okay, now. And I think that because life is gonna be like that. Things are going to happen, and we're going to lose things. We're going to lose people. A challenge is going to come always to find us. I think the more we work in ourselves, the more homework we do, we face this challenge as a moment, as opportunity to grow, instead of, oh my God, again, why is this happening to me? If I'm so meditating every day, or doing that, or doing here, or I drink so much medicine, why am in this situation again? Well, because maybe there's something we are not doing. And life is bringing that again for us to wake up more and more and more and more. But I think that someone told me, like, the more you learn, the more difficult it's gonna come. But then you have more tools also to face it. But I hope that at some point when we are old, if we did what we needed to do, if we take care of ourselves, I hope there's a moment where it's like you can sit on a rocking chair, and having a coffee, looking at a nice view and saying, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow. And then that just made me think of like, if we can get people, like you said, like your dream, if people can get more in touch with this space, get more in touch with nature, if we get people to that state and they reach this age of wise elder maturity where you can sit back on the rocking chair, then maybe that would be a good sort of structure for society where we can actually educate children in a proper way by having that wisdom that has matured to that point.
But we need to change. If we want to bring children up in a different way, we need to change before.
We have to change before.
Claro, it's like, because people are like, no, children are the future. It's like, yeah, but who's going to teach the children?
Right.
You know, we need to change. We need to embody this change that we want to see in the world, to teach the kids.
Yeah.
Also, to arrive to this age and embody the wise.
And to me, this all.
And you know, at the end, to die peacefully.
To die peacefully, yeah.
You know, that is I think the ultimate goal. You know, to die peacefully.
You've put it all out there.
Exactly. To look back and said, I did what I could, you know, and that's okay.
Yeah, I did the best I could.
I did the best I could.
Yeah.
You know, and that's okay. And yeah, this, you know, without regretting, without missing, oh, I never did that. Oh, I did that. You know, this tormentous space where people arrive, no? And it's so sad. So I think that all this work, all this evolution, it's part of enjoying life as it is, with all the juices, but also with this goal of, I want to die peacefully. No, I don't know.
Yeah, without any like fear or regret or going out suffering. I mean, that
exactly.
To me, all of this boils down to suffering. Like and inevitably we're going to encounter some suffering in the world. But if we can do whatever we can to sort of decrease a little bit of suffering for ourselves, maybe then we can decrease a little suffing for other people around us and for the environment and for the psychic cosmic web of reality.
Totally. That would be beautiful. Yeah.
Wow, it's been a beautiful conversation.
Sí.
I'm really glad that we got to do it on 3 hours of sleep and a bunch of Mumbai and coffee. Yeah, awesome. So what's next for you? Like what are you excited about next? Like what's exciting you coming up? Some idea or some vision or some adventure?
In some months, like next year, I'm going back home. That is the adventure that is coming.
Spain, right?
Say to Spain, to Barcelona. That is the great unknown. That is integration waiting for me there. Like
you're embarking on a new hero's journey.
New hero's journey. I think
chapter.
I've been talking for 4 years about integration with people, and now it's my turn.
Now it's your turn. Yeah.
And so that creates a little bit of vertigo on me, but it's been beautiful. But I've been having this feeling of, look, everything will be okay. It will be challenged. We know. You have tools. You know. You better use them for your own safety. But yeah, and I try not to plan too much, because I know that you plan and then life comes and that's another thing. So I'm just putting a lot of trust there, asking for things that I need, or that I will need, or I think I need. Yeah, but this is the great thing that's coming. It's like, okay, another chapter. It's not that I'm not going to come back never again here. No, it's not that I'm closing a door. But it's just a big change.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's just a great place to sort of end, is because, you know, you're putting yourself out there. And I was listening to this Joseph Campbell thing the other day, and he was talking about, this is what life is. Life is a sticking your neck out there. You know? Exactly.
Sticking out your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that before coming here, obviously, Barcelona was my comfort zone, and the jungle was like the unknown. And now the jungle is my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, and there is this very scary unknown place, you know, and situation. And it's like, wow, how different.
Yeah.
You know, and how, yeah.
It's exciting. I think you're going to do great.
I hope.
Yeah.
I know.
I would love to. Let's do another podcast in a year.
Totally.
And we'll talk about all this stuff.
Exactly. Anything
else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I want to thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
I was very nervous about, oh my God, how I'm going to speak, blah, blah. But no, thank you for the opportunity to talk about that. It's a theme that really lights me up a lot.
Oh,
and
good.
If someone can hear it and can take something, if someone can get inspired from that, I'm more than happy.
Awesome. Oh yeah, but maybe if like people want to take a look into the stuff that we were talking about more, is there anything that you think that would be like a book or a documentary or like anything that comes to mind about somewhere maybe to go to take a look at some?
Yeah, there's a beautiful book from Carl Jung and some of his students called Men and His Symbols. That if you don't have idea about that, or if you have idea but you didn't know about that book, it's a beautiful book.
Okay.
Yeah, because it explains a lot of things, and I think that gives a very beautiful view about what is the individualization process of the psyche, and it's one of the books that really inspired me. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many things here. So yeah, if someone wants to take a look on that book, I would suggest.
Awesome. I love the way that you describe Carl Jung as being his works being very beautiful.
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí,
He's
sí.
an intellectual heavyweight. Yeah.
It is. It's true. But
I love him. I think he's...
I think that the work that he did was amazing. And in the moment that he was like one of these people that sees forward.
He was a seer.
Sí.
Yeah.
He was a visionary also.
Visionary,
and because he did a lot of work himself. He researched on himself, and his wife also. I think without her, he couldn't develop as much.
Right.
All this theory about the archetypes and the unconsciousness and the dream space. So Emma Jung has also a very beautiful book about animus and anima, these two archetypes, that I also recommend. But yeah, for me, I have a lot of respect for this man because he did his own work. And that for me says a lot.
There it is. Yeah.
Because you can speak about many things, but if you don't experience it, then it's like, walk your talk.
You heard it here first, folks. Walk your talk. Do your work. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining. Irene, Ire, Mana, many names. Fantastic, beautiful conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bravo! Bravo! I was not that bad.
You were great.
Yeah.
Not that bad. You were fantastic.
Yeah, in the moment
I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast as much as I did. You know what to do if you love this show. Share it, like it, spread it with your friends. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a neighbor, tell a coworker. And if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/MikeBrank. You can donate as little as $1 a month. Or you could go on iTunes and leave me a nice 5-star rating and review. Whatever you do, thank you for listening. Much love to you all. Peace.
Eu vim mamar Oxum na cachoeira, sentada na beira do rio. Eu vim mamar Oxum na cachoeira, sentada na beira do rio, colhendo lírio, 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 colhendo lírio, lírio lá, colhendo lírio pra enfeitar o seu congá, colhendo lírio, 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 colhendo lírio, lírio lá, colhendo lírio pra enfeitar no seu congá. Eu vim mamar Oxum na cachoeira, sentada na beira do rio. Eu vim mamar Oxum na cachoeira, sentada na beira do rio, colhendo lírio, 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 colhendo lírio, lírio lá, colhendo lírio pra enfeitar o seu congá, colhendo lírio, 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 colhendo lírio, lírio lá, colhendo lírio pra enfeitar o seu congá. Eu vim mamar Oxum na cachoeira, sentada na beira do rio. Eu vim mamar Oxum na cachoeira, sentada na beira do rio, colhendo lírio, 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 colhendo lírio, lírio lá, colhendo um lírio pra enfeitar no seu congá, colhendo um lírio, 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 colhendo um lírio, lírio lá, colhendo um lírio pra enfeitar no seu congá.